Well, in the previous class, we were just looking at the construction and various systems of the engine. बहुत सारे system है engine में, like intake system, power generation, as well as transmission, battery starter, and valve operating system. So all those things will be discussed. Exhaust system. Okay. So अभी हमने थोड़ा डिटेल कंपोनेंट वाइज देख लेंगे कैसे हम इंजन को बिल्ड करते हैं. सो आपको पता है इंजन ऐसी इंजन इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन converts reciprocating motion into rotary motion. Okay, rotary motion with the help of some components. One is the piston moves up and down, and the piston is connected to the this is the connecting rod. Okay, so this we call it a small end, and this side you can have a bigger end. So it will be moving like this. The reciprocating motion is converted into rotary motion. Okay, in the combination of the reciprocating piston is connected to the small end of the connecting rod with the help of a pin. That pin is called the gudgeon pin, or we call wrist pin, because this is a wrist, right? This is up, like the fist is a मुट्ठी हमारा पिस्टन समझ लीजिए. इधर हमारा हाथ कैसे मूव होता है देख लीजिए ऐसे. सो पिस्टन स्ट्रेट होता है मगर ये कनेक्टिंग रॉड ऑसिलेट होता है. Okay, so here we'll be having a pin connecting the piston with the small end of connecting rod. So I say big end hota hai. Big end, a crankshaft is the one. So आप देख सकते हैं इधर crankshaft ये है. So the crankshaft is that this is what is called as big end. This arrow you can able to see. This is the big end. So this is the connecting rod, and this is the small end here inside. And here you can see a small hole. आपको देखते हैं इधर. This is what is the piston pin area. So the cylinder where piston moves, this is the cylinder hollow one. So where that piston moves up and down. So that one is put into the cylinder block. We are drilling it and making a hollow portion, and we are inserting a liner in that. Another cylinder, a dabba jaise hota. So we are just inserting it inside. That's the place where the piston moves up and down. So now moving to the other slide. So this is the one, and the piston. I think we already discussed about the rings. Piston will have a rings. So normally we'll be having 3 rings. So 2 pressure rings, one is oil ring. So the piston, if it rubs entire thing, देख लीजिए इधर, these are called piston rings here. इधर थोड़ा cross section देके आपको connector rod को दिखाया गया है. This is the connecting rod total. देख रहे हैं आपने? So can you able to see? This is the connecting rod. So where we are connecting rod with the piston, this portion is called small end, and opposite to that is called this is a big end of the connecting rod. This big end is connected to the crankshafts, a particular place called crank. So we'll be having a bearing, and we call that bearing as a thrust bearing. It will be having 2 halves. The connecting rod big end will have 2 halves. So उसका आप बोल्ट करते हैं, आपको देखा तो वो भी. So now this is the piston moves up and down like this. This connecting rod oscillates like a आपका clock pendulum जैसे oscillate होता रहता है. And whereas this crank rotates in a circle, and this is the one, the crankshaft arrangement. The crank rotates, and crankshaft rotates at a particular axis. Shaft rotate hota hai. Okay, like a wheel. So that wheel, that is the one from where we are getting the energy converted into shaft energy connected to the anything which is you need to drive. Like it may be a pump, it may be generator, it may be a tractor, it may be a power tiller, whatever that derives, those mechanisms derive the power, energy from this particular shaft, crankshaft. This is the crankshaft. And you can see this is the extended surface. This has two purposes. So one is it's a balancing, balancing. The crank idhar hota hai, a weight idhar hota hai. So it balances it. And it's called as a counterweight also. At times we call it a counterweight. So this hollow space cylinder. So this is the one, small end of the connecting rod is connected to the piston with the help of a gudgeon pin. Also it's called as wrist pin. And in this particular engine, what is that we are looking at is the spark plug here. There is a spark plug. And we have valve mechanism. So in this, the two valves, one is inlet valve, other one is exhaust valve. Both are like this, but when you see, it appears like only one, like this. When you just turn it, you will be seeing two. Right. So now we are having the cross section, so 50% removed. इसका क्रॉस इंजन रिमूव इसलिए आपको एक ही दिखता है okay so one valve is the exhaust valve, the other side must be inlet valve. So this entire thing, like you can see valve springs, a rocker arm, we call it a valve rocker arm, and this particular thing is the push rod, and this rocker arm is pivoted to a point with a short kind of thing, such that ऐसे करता रहता है, an engine operates. So when this side, it just pushes the rod against the spring load. So this valve rod that will be pushing the valve down such that it opens it. Okay. So this push rod makes up and down movement. This valve rod also makes up and down movement. So that movement is affected in connection with the crank. This is what is called as a tappet. Here we have a cam. So this is the one arrangement. This cam actuating valve actuating cam mechanism. Okay. So that's the one arrangement. So in some cases, we'll be having on the cylinder head itself all the mechanisms. So with the help of chain, we'll be operating that rocker arm with the help of another cam arrangement. So that particular thing is called as overhead valve arrangement, and this is the internal valve actuating arrangement. So now little more. A cylinder, already we did discuss about it. Now you can see the positions, various positions. So now the piston is at its top dead center. You can see this is the TDC at the top dead center. And the piston moves down up to this point. When the piston is at its top dead center, all the items are in one line. So the crank goes up here. The crank goes up. So they're all in one line. The two levels. So the crank is moving up such that the piston also moves up. And all the things are in one line. So that's the point wherein a piston is at its top dead center. Suppose when it just comes down, what happens to the crank? Crank rotates and comes down now. Now it is bottom. And further rotation makes it's up and it just goes, piston goes up. So this is how the crank rotates. Okay. So both the positions have been shown here. So when it's a TDC position, crank position is here, and at the BDC position, crank position is here. So this is the top center and this is the bottom center of the crank positions. And now you can see the cylinder flange, that is the one which is fitted to the crankcase directly. Connecting rod, combustion chamber is the space between the cylinder head and the piston, top end of the piston. So there will be having a small area. Okay. So this is the one. You can see now the text which is written there. The combustion space is provided at the top of the cylinder head where combustion takes place. With the help of spark plug, where at the end of the piston in the compression process, it just moves up and compresses all the air fuel mixture which is there in the cylinder. Okay, 4 processes. Remember, first is the suction process. Next is the compression process. Third one is the expansion or the power process. Fourth one is the exhaust process. So there are 4 processes in IC engine, whether it's a 2-stroke engine or 4-stroke engine. So now little more about the arrangement: piston, connecting rod, and crankshaft arrangement. So now in this particular diagram, what is that shown is having only one cylinder. So that's why you have got only one crank here. It's only that extension, whatever you have, there's one crank. This entire arrangement, like a jig-jog kind of thing, that is the entire thing is crankshaft. And this particular position, what is that throw? No? This distance between this center line, and this. See, there's a center line here. See, you'll be having a center line like this here. This is one center line. Okay. Here you have another center line. This is the where the crank rotates. The distance between these 2 points, is the stroke. This is the stroke. So this is the length of travel of the piston from top dead center to the bottom dead center, and from bottom dead center to the top dead center. So this is the called as a crank length also. This particular thing is called crank length also. Okay, crank length. So now the connecting rod, normally you will be having a connecting rod like a I section. I section matlab, English letter I. So this is the cross section we will be having like this. This is how a connecting rod looks like I. This is what is I section. So because of I section, it will not be having a lot of stresses coming into, and there's no bend or twist at the elevated temperatures. So because of that reason, mechanical strength purpose will be having I section. In the earlier slide, I was talking to you, this is the small end of connecting rod. This is the small end of connecting rod. Whatever you are seeing here, there's a red thing. This is the small end of connecting rod, and this is the big end of the connecting rod. You can just notice here, you can see 2 bolts. This is the one bolt, and this is another bolt. So here you can see a small cut. That means the lower part of the connecting rod have 2 parts, like this. It is 2 parts are joined with the help of bolt and nut arrangement. Okay. So the crank, and in between you can see the thick dark color. Here you'll be having what is called a bearing. Again, that's also 2 halves. It's not a solid ring kind of thing. You'll be having 2 portions. Normally we'll be having the indolum alloy bearing. That's called thrust bearing. That will be made out of a softer material than the crank as well as crankshaft and the connecting rod, such that there may be wear and tear for that particular bearing, because it will be having a thudding effect at times. So there may be a little wear and tear for the bearing, and we can replace that bearing. No need of for you or for anybody to replace the crankshaft or the connecting rod because of wear and tear. We'll be removing only that particular small bearing. So when compared to replacing connecting rod or the crankshaft, replacing the bearing is quite economical. That's the one reason we'll be having it. Okay. So now moving on to the smaller end. You can see smaller end as a point called as a gudgeon pin. This is the gudgeon pin. This is a small pin. Okay. So will be depend on the size of the engine. We'll be having that. That gudgeon pin also made hollow, and that will be put in place because of a lot of movement up and down. So we'll be putting that with the help of some movement arrestor, and this piston inside will have a small groove. So there we'll be having a washer, like you might have seen a thin steel metal pin will be having, that is called a circlip. Now I'll just show you in the next slides. There's another component called circlip. So that will arrest the lateral movement of the pin. So suppose this is the piston, the pin should be going in and we're fixing it there. No? So that can rotate, but not horizontal movement like this. Okay. So in order to arrest that movement, we'll be having on one side what is called a circlip. So that fixes this piston pin inside the piston. It will not come out, in the movement. So if it comes out, that erodes the cylinder liner, So in order to prevent that kind of damages, we'll be fixing the pin firmly in particular position. So that's what we are described here, So when it is moving, this crankshaft making the oscillator movement, and piston will be moving up and down. This is the up and down movement. It just goes up and down, whereas the crankshaft may be oscillator movement, and the crank rotates, and that rotates around an axis. This is the axis. So it will be rotating, and this is where you get the actual output from this shaft. Okay, that can be connected to any appliance. So now you can see a 3D picture of this crankshaft of a 4-cylinder engine. 4-cylinder engine. So now you can have a picture now. You can see they're all in the different positions. So in this, suppose if you name a cylinder, it's inline cylinder. It's called as inline engine, 4-cylinder inline engine. So that means if you see from one end, you'll be seeing only one cylinder, not all the 4. Okay. So it appears like a line, one line. And if you turn it, then you can able to see 4 cylinders. So in each cylinder, we'll be having one piston, one connecting rod, okay, and one crank. So in this particular configuration, what is that we are seeing? So you'll be having the 4 cylinders and 4 piston, and 2 pistons are at the same height. Right. If you number it from your left, the first cylinder, this is the one, okay, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, these are the 4. So 2, 3, and 1, 4. This is the firing order. So in 2 cylinders, simultaneously firing occurs. The power process. These 2 now at the top end. So that's the reason why this is the crank. You can see the crank is at exactly at the top. So these are at the bottom end. These 2 are at the bottom end. And if you keenly observe, this crank, it is the exploded view, what's called exploded view, you can able to see the crank only. So this crank, this you can see a small hole here. So, and also you can see hole here, hole here too, and everywhere. Here also one hole. So these holes are called the lubricating holes. So the lubricating oil is made to flow through all these holes, lubricating various components. This is what is the oil passage. They call it as oil passage. You can see this is the one, oil passage. So that will be oil is circulated such that will not be having what is called the friction. So friction has to be reduced. So similarly, you can see the throw. The total height of this is this much. This center line of the crank, and this is the stroke length again. This is the stroke length. This length, the distance between two is the stroke. It's small length. No, it just moves like this. Distance moves up and down. And you can see the throw. This is the counterweight balances. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 crankshaft balances, masses like counterweights. So here, two bearings. One is the big end, where the crank we have a bearing. So they are also called as thrust bearings. And similarly, where this main crankshaft sits. So this rotates. This is the one main crankshaft. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, they're all in line. You can see they're all in line, in one line. If you draw the line, it just goes that way, straight. So that is the axis around which the shaft rotates. No, shaft rotates. So that's the one. So here also you'll be having, wherever you have this, the crankshaft is put on the crankcase itself. So there we not reduce the friction. There also will be using the split bearings, also called as thrust bearings. Okay. So this is the arrangement we'll be having. So you can see, you can read that now. The crankshaft rotates in main bearing, which are fitted to the crankcase itself. A flywheel is provided with a gear. This gear, I think you understand why we have this gear arrangement to drive the starter motor. Starter motor drives this such that the engine comes to life. And also this may be connected to other mechanisms like the wall activity mechanism, maybe dynamo. So for all other allied activities, the power is drawn from this arrangement, gear and the pulley and gear train arrangement. So a flywheel is provided at one end. Now it's a 4-cylinder engine, and hence probably you don't need a very big flywheel because it's only smoothens any fluctuations in the power. And in this particular case of engine, two pistons, two cylinders generate power at once. So remaining two cylinders will be performing other tasks. It's as good as though there is a 4 cylinders, it has 2 cylinders firing at different timings. So hence, in this particular case, if it's a 4-stroke engine, it will be having firing occurs or the power stroke occurs once in 180 degrees rotation. So that means again there is a lot of gap, not at 90 degrees or not at 35 or 45 degrees kind of thing. Okay, and hence it needs slightly larger flywheel because it has to rotate the crank for another 180 degrees of rotation. So now this is the working principle of IC engine. We elaborately discussed about it at length. Now this is the arrangement we have. Now you can see just summary of it, whatever discussions we have. I just read out this slide. A mixture of fuel with correct amount. We did discuss of 3 different types of mixture strength: rich, lean, and chemically correct. So most of the time, we would like to have the chemically correct mixture strength in the case of stationary engines. Whenever the load fluctuates, accordingly, the strength of the fuel also fluctuates. Okay. So I think we have come to an end now today. There's a timing given by the Zoom. So mostly we'll be having another class before you come to the college physically. So we'll be having one class on 29th, other class on 31st. 2 more classes I'll be engaging. Okay. So thank you for the day. Enjoy your learning, and hoping and wishing you all come to the institution maintaining all the COVID norms, because prevention is better than cure. So 3 things, you and me, everybody will be doing it. So one is the hand washing frequently or sanitizing. So other one is the wearing the mask. Third one is maintaining at least 2-meter distance. That's how we are arranging your classrooms too. Okay. So we'll be making some arrangement in both in hostels as well as in the classrooms and laboratories. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Did you record it?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.